Here we have a new 2023 Hyundai Sonata. This one comes in the N Line trim level in portofino gray with black perforated leather interior. The powertrain consists of a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine mated to an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. And just really love the styling on this N Line. But coming around the front end here, we do get LED daytime running lights along with LED headlamps. The lights do not flash like that. That's just how my camera's picking it up. But really love the styling. Very much like a Sonata, but it has its own little twist to it, being the N Line. And the biggest thing for me is going to be these 19-inch aluminum wheels. Really, really like that look. Now we get passive keyless entry on the front two doors. We do get a Bose Sound System. We get one-touch up and down automatic windows for the front, and then regular power windows for the back. And here's our rear window lock here, power door lock controls, and then power mirror controls. So right side adjust, left side adjust. And love how they're doing this. They did this in the Ioniq 5, which I love, but it just makes it so easy to hold on to the door, open and closing it. So I really like that. Cup holder here. Electronic parking brake, just pull up to engage and then hit the brake, press down to disengage. Traction control. Then we have our trunk latch, lane departure. And then here we have our power driver seat with power lumbar support. And really love the seats in here too. Love the bolsters, having the end stitch there, and just really love that seat design. Can't wait to test it out. Now to the sticker here, here go all of your standard features. And you actually do get quite a bit with this N Line, specifically that powertrain. And you're still able to get 33 miles per gallon on the highway. Let's go ahead and hop in the back seat here. Now with these seats, legroom is a little bit of a disadvantage here, but still, being 6'3", I have the seat in front of me adjusted for someone of my size. I could probably pull the seat back up a little bit more and be fine, but that's just my comfortable seating based on these seats. So rear AC vents there, USB-A charge port there. I do like that the center seat still folds down and you get your cup holders in the middle. And then we have our grab bars with hanger hooks there, premium dome lights in the back. Let's go ahead and make our way to the back. Fuel filler there, gas cap. I'm just gonna go right into the trunk space first. And of course, we can fold the seats down, have a little opening there, but pretty decent storage space. Wish we had pockets on either side, but that's fine. And of course, underneath here, we have tire mobility kit there. It's a little, there's no handle or anything to grab that mat, but and the cargo nets on this one as well. And again, the LED tail lights here, they don't flash. That's just how the camera picks them up. But really love that dual exhaust there, how it's just really integrated in there without being noticeable, but it sounds really good. And I noticed that when I started it up earlier. And then once you pull that lever in the back, these will fold flat. And like I said, you have that opening there to run longer objects, and then you can just snap it back into place. And then I do like that we have a 6-way manual seat, since we do have to have a manual seat for the passenger here. And a lockable glove compartment. Owner's manual's in here. Pretty good storage for this car. And ooh, I like they put this little pocket here too. Didn't waste that space. But like I said, really love the styling of the Sonata N Line. Just the subtle differences between a regular Sonata. But I'll definitely be able to tell you if this is worth a 35, 36 grand sticker once I drive it. But there's that 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Let's go ahead and hop back in. So love that we have a leather-wrapped steering wheel here. Really easy to grip onto. And I like how you have the contrast stitching as part of the N line. It's kind of perforated on this side or on either side in the middle. And then over here to the radio, we do get a navigation system here. And we also have AM, FM, XM radio along with Bluetooth audio. And then we do have our Blue Link as well. You can hook that up. And then our backup camera there, guidelines. As you turn the steering wheel, they'll follow so you know where you're headed. And I like how this kind of stays here and then you still have space over here for whatever is set up there. But I really like how this screen is, it's not that big, but it has a presence to it, if that makes sense. Just really like how everything is set up there. And you can set up your favorites, and then you can actually fool with different settings by going into your setup there. I will say the screen itself is a little hard to use, but I mean, it requires you to actually put some pressure on the screen. So I guess that could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. Hazards are here, AC vents are here. We do get dual zone automatic climate controls. We can adjust fan speed here, direction here, and then we do have the 3-stage heated seats, for the driver and front passenger. And then we actually have actual buttons to cut the AC on, and then we can sync by hitting that. So I really like how this is set up. It's very minimal, but you can still do everything you need to there. And then we have a 12-volt, 2 USB charge ports there, and then here's a wireless charging pad. And this USB is actually what you use if you want to run your wired CarPlay or Android Auto. Now to shift the 8-speed, really like the push button here. You have your park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then while you're in drive, you can use your paddle shifters here behind the steering wheel. And then you have several drive modes. You have your custom, sport, sport plus, and then normal. Automatic brake holds here. Cup holders are here. Center console cubby space. Actually a pretty decent size for a mid-size car. And then we can open our panoramic sunroof here. One touch. And I like how it has kind of a dual pane feel, and then you have the electronic sunshade as well. So really like that. And premium dome lights up here as well. Universal garage door transmitter there. Here's a view of the back seat from up here. Then back to the steering wheel, we can go between our audio modes here, whether it's FM, XM, Bluetooth, by hitting this button here, and then voice recognition here, Bluetooth controls here, volume, you can click this for mute, and then you can go between your presets or your track list with this knob here, depending on what setting you're in. And then to the right side of the steering wheel, smart cruise there, or cruise controls there, and then your lane center and all of that. And you can use this button and this knob with an OK to go through the digital part of the gauge cluster, which again, it doesn't flash like that, it's just how the camera's picking it up. Blinkers here, headlamps, high beams, and you can flash there. And then when you're in auto mode, you can put your automatic high beams on. And those windshield wipers, one time, intermittent, low, high, and then you can adjust your intermittent here, and then you just pull up here for your windshield wiper fluid. And just really like having the all digital gauge cluster here. It looks really nice, really refined. And then we have push button start here. And then here's our key fob with remote start. And huge shout out to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this vehicle. Next, we're going to go ahead and take this 2023 Hyundai Sonata N Line out on the road for a quick test drive. Wow. Yeah, this N Line is definitely quick. I can already tell. And these paddle shifters, of course, having a dual clutch transmission is going to help in terms of those shift points, making them very, very aggressive. Give some throttle here. Oh my gosh, this thing pulls, jeez. And what's great is right in that mid-range there, it gets away from you almost. And it's weird because I'm so used to driving just the regular Sonatas that don't have turbos, and this just does not feel like a standard Sonata at all. I mean, this is extremely fun to drive, and the naturally aspirated Sonatas are great too. You know, they're good cars, and I wouldn't necessarily say they're slow, but this is just such a quick car, specifically in the Sport Plus mode, having the limited traction control, all of that. Very, very impressive. And I really do love how quickly this shifts, specifically with the paddles on. There's no sort of lag or anything like you get from a traditional, even Hyundai's traditional 8-speed automatic. Even when you do shift, it's just not as snappy as this dual clutch is. But just feels so fast. I'm gonna put it into normal mode now and just see how it differs. Definitely more economically friendly as I put my foot down. It's not a full-on eco mode, but of course it's gonna be this N Line's eco mode because that's about as efficient as you get. You got normal, sport, sport plus, then you can set up a custom one. But still pulls with this turbo. Yeah, this is just a really good setup from Hyundai, having the 2.5 liter turbo matched with this dual clutch 8-speed. Really, really impressive. Let's turn the smart cruise on now. So really good for longer road trips, having the lane centering on, the intelligent cruise or whatever Hyundai calls it. It's hard to keep up with all these names. Everybody has a different name for adaptive cruise, but just really spot on with this, very easy to use. And of course you don't want to fall asleep while you're driving or take your eyes off the road, but it's just a really good way to not make driving as stressful. But these seats, I know I said I was gonna test them out here while I was driving, and the bolsters are just really, really good at keeping you in the seat while still being extremely comfortable for more of a sports seat, if that makes sense. So even though the bolsters are there, they're not impeding on my movement like I would expect. Just really comfortable, but also being really secure. So for the money, if you're looking at this as opposed to maybe a Camry TRD, maybe something like I don't even know what else is really in this market right now other than that's actually as good as this is in terms of just how it drives. The TRD with the V6 is a fun car to drive, but I actually enjoy this better. And I'm thinking this is actually a little bit cheaper than the Camry TRD. Now, of course, you can go with a Stinger maybe, or a K5, like the GT line, something like that. But still, I just like how this handles better. I like the interior a little bit better. Definitely, exterior is pretty similar in my opinion to the K5. But just really impressed with this car. Because everybody else is getting rid of cars, there's really not a lot of competition, which is good for Hyundai. but very, very impressed with just how this thing moves. And for a 36 grand sticker, the only thing that might be able to touch that would maybe be like even a Jetta or I don't even think they make Passat anymore, but even like a Jetta, something like that, just doesn't touch this. So definitely, if you're in the market for something like this, make sure you test drive the new 2023 Hyundai Sonata N Line.